let's move on to Baker Mayfield. I said I would go off on Baker Mayfield, and I will right now. So, Baker Mayfield asked to be released from the Carolina Panthers yesterday, and the Panthers honored his request, and we're going to waive him today. He did not clear waiver wire because the only team to make a claim on Baker Mayfield was the Los Angeles Rams. John Wolford got hurt. I believe he has a neck injury. Matt Stafford just got put on IR. This is what Baker Mayfield's come to. And look at Baker Mayfield. We have the picture here. That's Baker Mayfield right now. Baker Mayfield. He's wearing number 17, which is incredible. He's gone away from 6. 6 was always his persona when it comes to his college number, and that's the number he wanted. So he's gone to number 17. That's interesting. He looks very awkward, and that's the picture we have in the topic bar here. He looks pretty awkward in the Rams blue and gold. I don't know, Baker Mayfield, but I'll ask the question: will Baker Mayfield show any signs of improvement in his third team in 2 years? My answer is no, because what I saw with the Panthers, I'm gonna see again with the Rams. Because Baker Mayfield started off, he won a playoff game, all in part thanks to the defense blowing up the Steelers at that time. But, you know, that team went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes, but then Mahomes got hurt in the fourth quarter, I believe, or in the second half, and then Caleb Haney came in and won the game, or Chase Haney, whatever his name is, ran for like a 14-yard first down. The Browns defense couldn't stop him on that run. It was the 3rd and 14, gets the first down, game over. I think the score is like 16-9. But Baker Mayfield won a playoff game. And then, he doesn't play well. He has a torn labrum and a hurt arm and another injury to his arm. He put out bad tape because he just didn't want to, sit and get that repaired because he wants to prove himself. I could do this without worrying about anything. So he goes out, performs terrible. I'm going to be honest. He performs terrible. The Browns say, we're going to go for Deshaun Watson. So they go out, get Deshaun Watson. Baker Mayfield asked to be released. He gets released, goes to the Panthers, he beats Sam Darnold out for the starting job. Plays really well in the fourth quarter in the first game against the Browns. Should have won that game. Should have won it because Jacoby Brissett had an intentional grounding sort of redacted because the ref just didn't know what's up. And on the previous play, there was a Brian Burns roughing the passer that just wasn't roughing the passer. But besides the point, he goes in the next couple weeks, doesn't perform very well. He's had one of the lowest QBRs since QBR has ever been recorded. I think it's 2006 when QBR was reported. ESPN, that's an ESPN stat. And there's been over I think it's 521 qualified quarterbacks since 2006 that have their QBR listed. Baker Mayfield is one above the bottom of the barrel when it comes to QBR. He's been that bad this year. He goes out, he loses to PJ Walker, and then he has to be dragged back into the game against the Bengals after they go up 35-0 and PJ Walker throws for 30%, which is insane. It got that bad. And he performs pretty well. He leads 2 touchdown drives. Those are beautiful. That first touchdown was beautiful. And then he sets him up for a potential, to decrease the lead for the Bengals. Just can't get it done because they're too far ahead or whatever. But the Bengals didn't have their starters in. They were up by 35-0 at that half. So that's beside. I didn't read too much into that. And then Baker Mayfield, the team, there were rumbles in the team that they wanted Sam Darnold to get a chance. So Steve Wilks benches him this past week, or in the week against the Broncos. Benches Baker Mayfield. Doesn't even have Baker Mayfield dress, which that's very disrespectful. But Baker Mayfield deserved it. So Sam Darnold goes in, beats the Broncos. Everyone's happy. And then Baker Mayfield realizes, I'm not going to get my job back. And in fact, Steve Wilks told me, don't even dress. You're not going to have a shot at playing another snap. So he has to be released. He gets released. The internet blows up. Baker Mayfield's terrible. Rams pick him up because they're desperate. Originally, this topic was before the news broke. Will Baker Mayfield ever play another snap in the NFL? Well, the answer is now yes, because he'll probably be the starter for the Rams. The improvement, we're not going to see, because Baker Mayfield is what he is. He had the most throughout, I think for the first 10 weeks, he got benched, I think week 5 or 6. up to like week 10 or 11, he still had the most batted balls in the league because he's a short quarterback, and that's pretty easy to get your ball batted when you're a short quarterback. You're like, what, 5'10"? You guys are like 6'6". You're going to get your ball batted, and he did. Horrible completion percentage, horrible QBR, horrible passer rating. He's won one game, and it was thanks to the defense. So, Baker Mayfield goes out, and the problems are somewhat of the same. The Panthers don't have a great offensive line. The Rams don't have a great offensive line. The Panthers don't have a tremendous amount of talent on the wide. They have DJ Moore, and that's basically it. Shi Smith has a drop issue. He's had a drop issue all year. He had a sort of a fumble issue early on, but I think he resolved that. Your tight end isn't very good on the Panthers. He goes to a team where Tyler Higbee has decreased severely since last year. Allen Robinson can't get any separation, hasn't been really existing at all most of the year. Cooper Kupp's hurt. Your running game is the only savior, but your running game was second to last most of the year. You got rid of your running back one. Cam Akers goes in and performs okay. And Cam Akers had a problem with your team. So, there's a chance. Baker Mayfield, the perfect opportunity for Baker Mayfield would have been to just perform with the Browns. You had a phenomenal offensive line. You had OBJ. Even if you didn't have OBJ, you had Jarvis Landry. Your tight ends were pretty good. David Njoku was really good. Your running game was basically the 1-2 combo between Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. That was unmatched in the NFL. The closest thing will probably be Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. But even then, I would take Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt over A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. You gave that up because you can't perform. You decide to play while you were hurt. You get replaced, respectively. Deshaun Watson, he looked very rusty, and I said that. There's not a single offensive touchdown scored. It was field goals and defensive scores. That's how they won against the Texans, who they're 1-10-1. I got to see who they beat, because whoever they beat, that look is getting worse and worse. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 13-6. So, let's see. And it was just an inefficient game for Trevor Lawrence just did not play well. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. But Baker Mayfield getting another shot, and that's not because a team that's not because the team wants it. It's because the team actually needs him. So it's sad. Baker Mayfield is very, very lucky. We're now in an era of the NFL where, it's an offensive league, and Baker Mayfield is getting another shot. That is surprising. And it's not because the Rams have really other options, because they have no other option besides Baker Mayfield. So the Rams, I guess this is it's a way of tanking without actually tanking, because you can't tank in professional sports. But Baker Mayfield will definitely show you that, yeah, you can tank without actually calling it tanking. I guess that's what the Dolphins should have done back in 2019. They went like 0-7 and were accused of tanking, $100K per loss. Should have just got Baker Mayfield on there and tanked. But yeah, if the Rams getting a high draft pick, they're going to be up there, because they now have to go up against, for the number, let's say, top 4 pick, they're up against Chicago and Denver. Chicago's 3-10, Denver's 3-9. The Rams are now 3-9. Houston, they're going to get the number 1 pick. They're 1-10-1. I don't think anyone's touching that. So, for Baker Mayfield, you're lucky. You're very, very, very lucky. Do I think you'll improve? No. You have an immaturity to you. Your game is not refined as much as it should right now. You're in year 5, so you gotta do something. You might be in year 4, actually. Year 4. I think he was drafted in 2018 or 2017. So yeah, it could be his 5th year. I was right the first time. Yeah, 5th year. So Baker Mayfield, you're lucky. That's all I have to say about that.